Namaskar and a very warm good morning to everyone who's signed in today to come and travel with us to a little central eastern state of India, the state of Chhattisgarh. Viewers, we took you on Saturday in the wildlife safari of Madhya Pradesh. At a point of time in history, politically, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh were one state, and in 2000, Chhattisgarh was crafted out as a separate political entity. But in terms of a cultural entity, it has had its own uniqueness. Very at this point of time, as we bring to you Chhattisgarh, Chhattisgarh literally translates into 36 forts. It is located, as I said, in the center east of India. It used to be also called the Dakshin Koshala of the ancient times. And this beautiful state has about 43% of forest cover. Why would we not want to go there? In fact, it's very well connected by airport at Raipur, and there are a number of flights that take you there. So after COVID times, and in fact, flights have already started, you can start your bookings, but you can start traveling maybe in a few weeks from now. And viewers, I must also share with you the three viewers, of course, will showcase Chhattisgarh in a far more in-depth manner. But if you get there, don't miss an evening or a daytime of the something that they call the Dant Kathas over there. These tales are part of the oral tradition, and they're called the Labed Katha in Chhattisgarhi. And they're so amazing to watch. Even if you just go on the video, the YouTubes of the Labed tradition of Chhattisgarh, you will really know what I'm talking about. But telling us in more detail today is going to be Jaspreet Bhatia. He's been listed as a trustworthy travel partner by the Lonely Planet. And Express Travel World calls him an out-of-the-box travel professional. Well, that's the safest hands to be in when you're traveling to Chhattisgarh. Joining him today will be Thomen Jose. He's author of 2 road tripping guidebooks. He's traveled from Jashpur in the north part of Chhattisgarh to the south part of Chhattisgarh, which is the Bastar region, and he's done it in a self-driven car. So I'm sure he'll have many, many interesting tales to tell us about from Chhattisgarh. He's also a biker and a blogger. You can follow him on wanderinc.com. And the third presenter for the day is Jeet Singh Arya. He's founder of the Unexplored Bastar. I'm not going to unravel more of Jeet for you because he's going to tell you what all he's been exploring about Chhattisgarh. But before we take you to the 3 presenters, today joining us and joining hands with the Ministry of Tourism is the state government of Chhattisgarh. And I welcome today with us An Balaganji. He is the Secretary Tourism and Culture, Government of Chhattisgarh. And thank you, An Balagan, and your team for putting this together for Ministry of Tourism and for Incredible India. Viewers, let's walk through Chhattisgarh. An Balagan, would you like to create a...
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I'm Anbalagan, Secretary Tourism, Culture and Religious Endowments, Government of Chhattisgarh. On behalf of the tourism industry, on behalf of Chhattisgarh, I welcome you all first to this webinar and later on to Chhattisgarh, of course. Post-COVID scenario will throw us a lot of challenges, lot of opportunities. And one among them would be that we start thinking about how we can do better in the post-COVID scenario. And Chhattisgarh being, as ma'am said, is a new state. We can say we are 20 years old compared to other very well established tourism industry in other states in India. And we have the tagline, Chhattisgarh is full of surprises. Chhattisgarh is still unexplored for the tourists to come. And we have a variety. Our traditional strength lies in the ecotourism and ethnic tourism. The tribal tourism, the homestay, one of our speakers today is a specialist on that. And moreover, how do you reach to Chhattisgarh is also, as against the popular belief, it is quite easy, very well connected state. So one of our speakers would be speaking on that aspect also. And I warmly welcome you all again to this webinar. And we are here to create the most enabling environment one expects when he wants to go around and see our country. And being the new partners, being the newly developing state, we are very much interested and very eagerly are developing or equipping ourselves to come up to the expectations of the tourists. One of that is, apart from the traditional strength areas, is the mythological Ram Gaman one circuit that we are working on that. As the mythology goes, out of his kingdom, Sriram stayed for about 14 years, and it is believed that out of the 14 years, 10 years is spent in an area that is called this South Coastal, that is the present day Chattisgarh. So the places of worships, the places of beliefs are being integrated, and a circuit is being also made. This would definitely interest the specific interest groups, those who would be willing to visit those areas. Apart from that, we have very beautiful pristine water bodies. We are working on water sports, cruise, and adventure sports also. So we would be able to give you a mixture of a lot of experiences when you visit to Chhattisgarh. I welcome you all once again, and I now pass it on to Mr. Jaspreet Singh, and he will take it on from here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I'll just... Good morning, everyone, and very warm welcome to this series of webinar. And I thank Ministry of Tourism and Government of Chhattisgarh for taking this initiative. And let us dive right into it. This is going to be a fun-filled next few minutes in which I'll be taking you through to Chhattisgarh and how it is, where it is, and how to go about it. So now, first things first, let us start with some key basic facts. You know, everybody says Chhattisgarh. Where is Chhattisgarh? What is Chhattisgarh? So some basic key facts. Chhattisgarh was carved out of the state of Madhya Pradesh on 1st November 2000. It's the 9th largest state in India. You know, that is a surprise which comes in to a lot of people, because there are 29 states in India and Chhattisgarh is the 9th largest state. So it's not a small state. It's a pretty big state in terms. And you know, 44% of the state is under forest cover, so which makes it one of the greenest states in India. 44% is a lot of area, which gives us, you know, a feeling of being a green state. 34% of the state's population is tribal. So the local aboriginals, the local tribes, they give a very nice local flavor, the colors, the life, and, you know, the flavor to this destination. It's particularly rich in forests and mineral resources. It's the only tin producing state in India. And the best part is that it's untouched. And so come, let's explore the unexplored. Well, Chhattisgarh, you know, is very strategically located in the central eastern part of the country, and it is bordered by 7 states. 7 states inko border kar rahe hain. And when, you know, the first thing comes in is the connectivity. How do you reach to Chhattisgarh? So the air connectivity of Chhattisgarh is simply excellent. Currently, the state capital, Raipur, Swami Vivekananda Airport, is the only commercial airport, but there are, you know, other airports which will be operational very soon. Currently, Indigo, Air India, Vistara operate, and we have direct flights to almost all the metro cities. Delhi, we had 8 flights, Bombay 4, Calcutta, Madras, Bangalore. It's very well connected. Basically 90-minute flights and you are into Raipur. So it has amazing connectivity in terms of air connectivity. When it comes to railways also connects Chhattisgarh very nicely. If you look at it, Raipur and Chhattisgarh is situated on the main trunk route between Bombay and Calcutta. So all the trains flying on this route go through Raipur. Raipur, Bilaspur are the 2 major railway stations, and Delhi, we have, you know, Rajdhani and a lot of other trains. So all the metros, train also has very nice connectivity. Roads, that comes to roads. We have 19 national highways passing through the state. You know, they crisscross the entire length and breadth of the state. And hence we have very good network of roads. And basically, once you are in Chhattisgarh, once you have arrived at Raipur by train or by flight, it is the roads which take you around. And thankfully, we have got some amazing surfaces to drive upon. And traveling by road gives you a very good experience of the local destinations, and you get to feel the place and experience it. Now, this is a very interesting slide that I've put together for you. If you look at it, Chhattisgarh is bordered by all these very famous destinations, And you see, Kana is just 200 kilometers. Bandhavgarh National Park, which is again in MP, is 400. So similarly, all these destinations are just around Chhattisgarh. And from Raipur, they are either overnight journey or just 4 or 5 hour journey. So you can plan to visit Chhattisgarh along with any of these established destinations. Now, coming on to describe the destinations that Chhattisgarh has to offer, there is so much to see, and I've got very little time to explain. So what I'll try and do is I'll just take the major heads and I'll just try and squeeze in and try to do justice to everything. You know, being a green state, it's a nature's paradise. So we have some of the best waterfalls, and the uniqueness is they're pristine and untouched. We have got some amazing archaeological locations. We don't have, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but we have things which are predating World Heritage Sites and which are as good as them. So there are some amazing archaeological locations. We have a very colorful cultural landscapes. We have amazing fairs, festivals. We have even Buddhist monasteries. We have very good, well-established temples. I'll take all three, all these things in the coming slides. We have got some amazing tribes, aboriginals. We have amazing handicrafts. We have got some amazing wildlife sanctuaries also. Now, just to put things into perspective, I said Chhattisgarh is a large state. If you look at the screen, I have just, for your understanding, we'll have a northern Chhattisgarh, a central Chhattisgarh, and the southern Chhattisgarh. So as and when we take these destinations, I'll be just telling you whether ये North Chhattisgarh है, Central है, के Southern है, just to give you an idea. These are all the spots which are the prominent tourist spots. So we begin with waterfalls. And Chhattisgarh is particularly blessed with it. The one which you see on your screen is the Chitrakoot waterfall, which is the largest in India. It's only horseshoe waterfall, and it is often referred to as the Niagara of the East. It's situated in southern Chhattisgarh, and I'm sure my friend Jeet will enhance more about it later on. In the last 20 years, unfortunately, we have only spoken about Chitrakoot, but there are so many other waterfalls which are still unknown. And the best part is when you go to that waterfall, you can experience it for yourself, and you will not find anybody selling Coke and ice cream there. So it will be pristine nature, virgin territory, and you can spend some good time with yourself at these waterfalls. This is one such waterfall. There are so many of them, so I'll just run through so that we can cover all the aspects. This is the one in the northern part of the state, which is called as Amrit Dhara. This is a similar one. You have to do a lot of trekking to reach to this fall. It's inside a wildlife sanctuary. This is called as Pawai. This is another one. This is called as Gaur Ghat, and it is situated at in the middle of a forest. You don't have a proper road, so you need to trek. So that adds to the element of adventure. This is one of the most famous waterfalls. It's called as the Tirathgarh waterfall. It's in the Kanger Valley National Park in southern part of Chhattisgarh. This can be termed as the Bheda Ghat of Chhattisgarh. It is again a fall in the northern region of Chhattisgarh. Look at this one. This is called as the Machli Point. It's again in the northern part of it. And when you look at it, it is in the middle of forest. There is nothing around it. So when you go, you explore the falls over there and you experience the nature. Now, moving on from waterfalls to the archaeological locations. Well, we have plenty. There are so many. I'll just run through some of the important ones. This temple that you see is the Bhoramdev temple. And the interesting part is that this temple has the same erotic figurines and exquisite carvings, the ones which are found on the Khajuraho temples. But this is predating Khajuraho. This belongs to the 7th century. Another interesting fact is this is situated on the border of MP and Chhattisgarh. So if you remember, I was telling you, you can go to Kanha from Raipur. So if you travel to Kanha National Park, this is the waterfall which you can, this is the temple, which you can cover on the way traveling. So this is a value addition which you get while traveling from Chhattisgarh. There are similar, so many structures. This is another 7th century structure. This is one of the most famous ones. This is called as the Lakshman temple, which is the oldest intact brick temple in India. And this is at a location called as Sirpur. Now, Sirpur is a very important archaeological location situated just 80 kilometers from Raipur. And it's on the bank of the river Mahanadi. Mahanadi, interestingly flows from the central part of the state towards east. And there, all along the Mahanadi, there are so many these temples of archaeological importance. So you can have a nice temple trail along the Mahanadi. And Sirpur, the excavations are still going on. His Holiness Dalai Lama has visited this place twice. So it's a very interesting archaeological location. This is another one. This is called the Vishnu Temple. This temple is also situated. This is the Narayanpur temple. It is also dating back to 12th century. This is also situated on the banks of the river Mahanadi. This is one of the oldest locations, archaeological sites in Chhattisgarh. This statue of Vishnu on the left side that you see, the legend says it is the oldest statue of Lord Vishnu, and it dates back to 2nd century BC. So, you know, we have very rich archaeological heritage. Coming on to the cultural landscapes, we have fairs and festivals which happen throughout the year in different parts of the state. And I'll just take upon one major one, which is the Bastar Dashera. You know, this is a huge chariot which goes around in Jagdalpur, the district headquarters of Bastar. It's a 75-day long festival, and the most interesting part is this Dashera has nothing to do with Lord Ram or Ravan. It is completely dedicated to the local goddess Danteshwari, and it's an amazing tribal extravaganza, and you should visit it. Once in a lifetime experience. Chhattisgarh is also very rich in the tribal culture. We have a lot of colorful tribes in northern parts, central parts, southern parts. Every tribe has its own culture, which gives, which colors the canvas of Chhattisgarh so brightly, because every tribe has their own culture. And it is also not just tribes. We are also home to a lot of indigenous communities. This is a picture of our local tribal market, which is called as the Heart, which is a weekly market where the tribals from the nearby villages come and perform their daily chores. And interestingly, the one in the right that you see below, Done mein jo aap dekh rahe hain, you know, interestingly, that's a red ant chutney. It's a chutney which is made out of red ants. So I can speak for a day on this place, but for now we just move on to the next one. This is the Ram Nami community. If you look at it closely, they have tattooed the name of Lord Ram on their body. Now this is unique. This is truly unique, and this community is getting extinct, and they are found in the central part of Chhattisgarh along the bank of the river Mahanadi. And they have an annual congregation which is attended by a lot of people from across the country and even outside. So they add an interesting flavor to the communities over here, and we have a very, very versatile tribal community. Now, Chhattisgarh is particularly rich in the spiritual escapes also. We have got, 3 Shakti Peeths, which draw a lot of people towards them. We have Champaran. Champaran is the birthplace of Mahaprabhu Vallabhacharya, which again is very, very sacred. And Rajim is there. It's a town which is situated on the confluence of 3 rivers, and every year there's a huge mela which is organized and lakhs of people visit it. Similarly, we have Shivri Narayan. Shivri Narayan is again a very sacred temple built on the bank of Mahanadi river, and that is the place, the legend says, jahan pe Shabri ne Bhagwan Ram ko ber khilaye the. So the government is developing this Ram Van Gaman Path circuit. So Shivri Narayan is an important part of it. Now look at the color from the blue to the green. This is the greenness of the state of Chhattisgarh. As I said, it is 44% is under forest cover. 44% is, mind you, a lot of area. So that is why we have 3 national parks, 11 wildlife sanctuaries, and 1 biosphere reserve. And I am very proud to say we also have India's own sanctuary that is first of its kind. So which gives you a lot of locations for trekking and camping. And we have a large variety of flora and fauna because of this amazing forest. You can find some amazing forest. We have got good amount of wildlife. Yes, we don't have tigers. They are limited in number, but we have very good sightings for leopards. We have these amazing tracts of unexplored forest. This is a stalactite and stalagmite formation cave, which is inside the Kange Valley National Park. So Jeet will probably tell you more about it. Look at, so this is Jashpur, which is in northern part of Chhattisgarh. It is also an uncharted territory. This is the Hasdev Pango area, which has huge water bodies where a lot of water sports are happening. And because we have so rich tribal community, aboriginals, that brings in a lot of handicrafts into picture. And other than the ones mentioned here, you know, we have very famous woodcraft. We have the tussar, the kosa silk, which is very famous, which gives Chhattisgarh its identity. Then comes down to accommodation. You know, talk of tourism is not complete without talking about accommodation. When you talk of the Raipur city, it has got all the major brands like the Hyatts, the Marriotts, Mayfair has come up with an amazing property. Then moving out of Raipur, there are a lot of homestays and specialty lodgings with heritage homestays, village homestays, which give you the local flavor of the place. But most importantly, you know, Chattisgarh Tourism Board has some amazing resorts at some of the best possible locations. I'll just share a small video to give you a quick glimpse of it. Here it is. What I have covered here is only the tip of the iceberg, and there is so much more to do. There is so much more to see that we can spend the entire month of June talking about all the destinations here. And one last point, you know, hopefully we reach to the post-COVID era. We are still in the COVID era. Then Chhattisgarh would be one of the best places to visit because it is lesser known. There are less number of people traveling. It has got amazing connectivity, and you've got these amazing places which are very close to nature, which gives you a very healthy environment, and you can rejuvenate and you can spend a very good time. So let's stay in touch. These are my coordinates. If you need any further information on Chhattisgarh, I'll be more than happy. And I would like to thank the Tourism Board, Chhattisgarh Tourism Board, and Government of India for giving this opportunity. We need many more of such ones. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. So I believe Thomen is having some problem with his electricity supply. Thomen, are you logged in? Or else we can move to Jeet first, and then Thomen could speak towards the end.
Yeah. Should I start, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. This side Jeet from the lovely place, Bastar. I'll share a short presentation with you all. So let me take you to the virtual tour of Bastar. So here it goes. So Bastar is land blessed with nature, you know, some of the amazing waterfalls. So in this Bastar location, we have approximately 50 plus waterfalls, and Chitrakoot waterfall, considered as India's widest waterfall, 1,000 feet wide and 100 feet of its height. You can see the rainbow, which is visible in the picture as well. And apart from it, Tiradgad waterfall, it has seven waterfalls included in this. So you can trek down to the bottom of it. It has some amazing geological formations. You can see while coming here, and it is located in the virgin forest of India, which is called as Kangar Valley National Park. See this image, you know, you will think about Iceland, where some person is getting a picture. This is Mehendri Valley, where in the time of winter, in the time of rainy season, the fog comes and settle down below, and you are over the cloud. These are the roads where you keep on traveling in Chhattisgarh, especially in Bastar region. Imagine this hidden waterfalls. The right hand side picture is of Handawara waterfall, which is 600 feet height. And it recently got famed when some news was some news was there that Bahubali 2 waterfall was shot here. So we have approximately 50 plus waterfalls in this region. And this is Kutumsar Cave, one unique cave in Kangir Valley National Park region. 57 identified caves are there. It is longest series of caves after Meghalaya. And you know, Jaspreet sir already has told so many things about the tribal lifestyle, and Bastar is the place where you will get so many people, the Gons, Marias, and Murias. The bison horn Marias are the most famous one. They wear a horn and they dance in a circle. The girls wear the red and the different kind of dresses. They dance barefoot. They have dhol, nagada, and all those things. And they are very beautiful people, and they are again the tribal people, and they are the Muria tribes. And this girl is particularly from Dhurva tribes, and she now, because of some modernization and getting connected with the world, so some ornaments are the very unique, but the clothes she wear is the pata. It is cotton based and it is locally made, and the draping style is very unique to particularly this Dhurva tribe only. And this place, you know, because there are many local god and goddesses, so many festivals are there. The most colorful festival is Fagun Madai, which comes at the time of Holi. And the Bastar handicraft, the left hand side picture you are seeing is of wrought iron, and the right hand side picture is of bell metal. And bell metal, you know, the story comes from, it is very much connected with Harappan civilization. The technique which is used is called as lost wax technique, and this was considered at the at the time of Harappan civilization. So while you come here, you can see this unique art form of Bastar. And as again, this Bastar, earlier in the Ram time, it is called as Dandakaranya region. So Ram has roamed around in this region along with his brother and wife. So this is world's longest festival. There are n number of people who come, thousands of people come in the curate festival, and this is nothing to do with Ram and Ravana. It is the local festival celebrated with Devi Mavli and Danteshwari. We have some beautiful archaeological gems such as Barsur. Barsur, as folk tales tells about this place, Barsur is the city formed by the one of the king named as Banasur. And we have Sakti Peeth Dantewada, and Dantewada name it is considered as the Sati when her body fallen at that time. So her tooth fall at this place. That's the reason why Dantewada got its name. Imagine this place. You can see the clouds and the Ganesha statue. Ganesha is there. You need to trek about 3,000 feet for approximately 4 to 5 kilometers, and then this is the view which you will get. And we have the third largest Ganesha statue in a single sandstone in world. And this is very unique. The megalithic site. Many people talk about Stockholm and megaliths of Stockholm, but this, the left-hand side megalith, it is very prominent in particularly Dantewada region of Bastar. And in the right, you can see it is a Facebook. You can say it is a Facebook of tribal people. The life of a person who is dead is mentioned over here. In this picture, you can see this person has danced, doing hunting, he has a family. An entire depiction of his life is there in this tribal memory pillar. Whenever you visit this place, do visit this unique memory pillars. And yes, we do have alien connection. You would be saying why I am saying this, but this painting is approximately 12,000 year old. And importantly, if you'll see if you have seen this Ancient Alien series in History Channel, this is covered in that particular series, and you can see the figure. This is the head of this person. Now it is made 12,000 year old. This is 12,000 year old, and now the movies and everything which is shown is has the resemble like this, and you can see the hands, you can see the legs, you can see here the head helmet. So it got a very good alien connection. Many researchers come here to particularly see this unique cave paintings, which is located at Kanker. And we this place is birding heaven. There are many. The state bird, Bastar Hill Manna, is here, located in Kangar Valley National Park. It can mimic human voice. And Malabar, there are many bird species which are located in this particular place, 200 plus birds. And I'll just run through you a video uh, for a moment. So again, I'll connect you with the activities. So that particular video has each and everything which a solo traveler can experience in this particular place. And now I will move into particularly activities and experience which you can have in Bastar. While you are in Bastar, you will meet with these guys. This local community are there to host you, take you for a trek, take you for a heritage walk, take you for a local guiding services, camping. They all these things they are doing currently. So far, we are very fortunate, along with the local administration, Chattisgarh Tourism Board, we are able to train approximately 500 500 local people, and they are now working as. This picture is particularly of Dholkal, where the camping facilities one can be availed. Think about doing a river rappelling in a very interior location of Bastar, and especially this, boating. This boating is very, very, very beautiful. So yeah, when you are here, you can see this image. This is the uh, camping site of Dholkal, and think about this river rappelling in Fulpad waterfall or doing a boat ride, particularly in this, the widest waterfall of India, and rainbow is particularly visible from there. You can do a camp over there. You can have outdoor sessions like in front of archaeological gems, or you can just go to some natural place, a waterfall, and do outdoor sessions. Particularly if you are going, just hire a guide to just know about cultural heritage. This is where I am showing people about the memory pillars and the connection which is related with tribal people. think about doing a camping at Chitrakoot waterfall. This is the night picture. You can see this amazing waterfall and doing camping at that particular place. Camping at Valley of Fog, camping at Dhulkal base camp. You can, yes, मुल्तानी मिट्टी सभी जानते होंगे. So when you are here, do a nature therapy. मुल्तानी मिट्टी यहाँ पे limestone काफी मिलता है. So you can just go to some pond, nearby pond, and you can have so much of multani mitti, and you can take a nature baths there. When you are here in Bastar, there are many people who are providing homestay facilities. There are people who stayed here, so you can come and visit a local homestay for getting a very ethnic and actual experience. This is my friend John. He's just having a local brew. So we have many local brew in this particular place. So John doesn't know the local language, and these girls are they also don't know local language. But yes, the smile is the only language which works here. So, and especially when you visit to the market area, you will find the women are very active in this particular region, and you'll find the local brew section is handled by these ladies only. And there are many foreigners who get to interact with the local people, local students, and they raise many questions. And our team and we usually do the translation thing for them. And when you are in Bastar, there is so many herbs are there. So when particularly you are here, just hire a local guide and go and see the indigenous herbs and medicinal plants, which is now after COVID, it is very much essential to have a good immunity. Jasprit sir has already told about the right images of women selling red end and left. It is the local dish. When you are here, you will be served in a leaf plate only. So they don't, when there are people, they only serve in the leaf plates. Many students come here for getting an experience of art and craft. This is bamboo structure of Kondagaon, and these are made by Nagpur Architecture College. When there are so many things which we can learn from tribal people, and their life is based on minimalism. And you can see in this picture that one lady is trying to learn about how to make a leaf plate. And when you are here, you can just imagine you doing a yoga in this particular place. And we have a very varied experience. You can go to waterfalls, experience it, or go to a cave and get to know about the very very unique structures, the wildlife which is there inside the cave. And connectivity already mentioned by Jasprit sir. And for particularly coming to Bastar region, it is very well connected with Raipur, Visakhapatnam, Hyderabad, and the train is only coming through Visakhapatnam, Bhubaneswar, and Kolkata. Flight is we got a clearance, so in coming days the flight will be operational till Jagdalpur, and bus and road is very fantastic. So you need not to bother anything. And if you are following this route, you can come to Raipur, experience Kondagaon, the art for the art experience, Chitrakoot, Kangar Valley National Park, Dantewada, Barsur, and Dhamtri region. This is the route which you can consider. And many thanks for listening to all these things. You can reach out to me in this particular www.unexploredbastar.com. My number is also there. So you have any question, you can just dial my number or email me. Thanks a lot, Ministry and Chattisgarh Tourism Board, for giving me chance to talk on Bastar. Thanks a lot.
I think one is already looking forward to the opening up and traveling. Such beautiful images. I would now request the third presenter, Thomen. You are there. Great. So we can start with your presentation.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Is my audio okay?
Yes. Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you, Jeet and Jasprit. Jeet, your video was fantastic. And both of you, Jeet and Jasprit, you have really succinctly and very extensively touched upon all the major sites of Chhattisgarh. And okay, and where I am right now, it's been like raining hard since morning, and there is a frequent power outage. So I haven't been able to follow it completely, but so probably some of the destinations that I'm going to talk about might be an overlap. But I'm trying to keep my presentation strictly to the lesser seen places and experiences. Okay, so there you go. My name is Toman Jos, and I'm a I'm a corporate filmmaker, and I'm based in Delhi. And right now I'm in Kerala. I came here before the lockdown. I've been here for the last almost 2.5 months now. So I would like to thank, before I start, I would like to thank the Chattisgarh Tourism Board and everybody there for this opportunity to travel at least virtually when we are under lockdown. Okay, to start with, I must say that this presentation is based largely on the places I have seen when I was working on my book, which was published by the Times of India. But again, I must admit that most of these places haven't found their way into the book because, it was preferred that we stick to the more better known destinations. So to start with, let me say that Chhattisgarh is as archaeological treasure troves, fascinating tribal cultures, handicrafts tradition, pilgrim centers, wildlife sanctuaries, waterfalls, caves, stereothems. There are few other destinations in the country that are as fascinating as Chhattisgarh, and I must tell you that. Now, by sheer dint of being so remote and being away from civilization as we know it, Chattisgarh was historically, it has kept invading armies at bay. And it is this very same reason it's still keeping away tourists from exploring the real Chattisgarh. And I must say that when I was working on the book, I drove in a self-driven car. I was traveling in Chhattisgarh for 40 days. And I traveled from Jashpur in the north down to Bastar and Jagdalpur in the south. So the pictures are mostly from my blog and from Chattisgarh Tourism Board. I must tell you that all the better pictures are for the Tourism Board only, and the ones are slightly fuzzy and not nicely cropped out from mine. So to start with, I'll start with my favorite, what I would like to call my discovery. As I said, I'm not sure if Jeet or Jasprit has spoken about it. So this is Karkabat. So Karkabat, I would say that when I was traveling there, I was briefed that I don't really have to go there because it's just a bunch of stones. So I made it a point to visit those places where I've been specifically told not to go. It's a habit. So when I reached Karkabat, and I had a huge problem finding this place because not even the locals knew about it. So when I was it's near Balod, and when I asked many locals, I was told that I was directed to a sugar factory because I asked for a tourist attraction there. Then finally, a school teacher at a local Anganwadi, she pointed me to this place, and as you can see from the picture, it's a burial site which is largely ignored by tourists. And there are 3 types of menhirs there: conical, pointed, and bifurcated like a fishtail. The one here is the fishtail one. So what you should note is that this is from the megalithic age. The megalithic age is from 1500 to 500 BC is a megalithic age. So you should imagine at those times, people were so expert in sepulchral architecture, and they knew astronomy like we can probably never figure. So the way these menhirs were placed, it showed the time of the death. how more fascinating can it get? Yes. So the the inclination towards the east or the west and their placements and positioning denoted the solar positions. So they showed the exact period of time when the person died. And this Karkabot is one of the rarest discoveries of menhirs anywhere in the country, right? So, and I was asking, and when I was there, many locals were collecting stones from this site to build compound walls and houses. And I asked somebody about it, and they asked me, like, what is so interesting about this? It's just a heap of stones. And when I tried to explain to him in my pidgin Hindi that this is what it is all about, he didn't believe me, or he tried to believe me with great difficulty. So this is Karkabad, and it actually is at par with Stonehenge. And believe me, this is one of the fabulous, lesser seen, unknown treasures of Chhattisgarh. Now, second, I come to Dipadi. Now, Dipadi is a complex temple complex that dates back to the 7th century, and this is from Ambikapur in the north. You have to go further towards Jashpur. And see, this is a very atypical museum in the sense that it's an open air museum, and flanking the other side is an open paddy field. And it was one of the, it's not at all, I mean, I've got claustrophobia, but then when I was sitting here, I'm just surrounded by all these fascinating excavations. And the figurines are so beautiful and so perfect, you can almost say that it's a celebration of perfection in everyday life. And there's a Shiva temple inside this complex, which the locals still visit, and they light diyas. And this Dipadi is heritage at its most playful best. There were many of these naikas or figurines of dancers, as you can see from here. So one of the very interesting things about this naika is that the earrings that they're wearing is the one is not identical to the other. They're of different designs. And this style, this design is still followed by many of the women, especially the tribal women from the area. And these are designs etched in stone. You're looking at the 7th century, right, around 1300 years old. But see how contemporary those artists were, or probably they could see the future. The third, I would like to speak about the gotul. So the gotul, I'm not sure if many of you have heard about it. I'm sure Jasprit and Ji have. So the gotul, now this is a deal clincher. Pardon me for putting it bluntly. This is a deal clincher for travel arrangements but I must say that there are no gotuls, or there are no functional gotuls, at least where you can see them anymore. Even to reach this gotul, I had to seek the help of a local, which I'll come to later. So what exactly is a gotul? It's a tribal system, where boys and girls were put together to learn. It was akin to the school that we have today. Only that the girls and boys, called motiaris and cheliks, they were enrolled at the gotul when they turned 6, and the boys, the cheliks, were taught skills like hunting, fishing, and farming, while for the girls it was basket weaving and how to run a house. It could be probably a bit sexist, but that's how things were in those days, right? So the gotul is now it's a local name for a building that's a little removed from the main village. So it will be on the outskirts of the village, and depending on the size of the village, the gotul can be big or it can be small, and depending on how infested it is with wild animals, some of the gotuls could even be found on stilts. So this is the one which I found, and this was of course shut down. And the one which again I saw that was it was an Anganwadi, and another one was a primary health center, and the other one was just closed down. And so now let's not say that these are like very rustic or very, what you could say, very backward, right? Because here, when the boys and girls, they could, when they were enrolled when they were 6 years old, and many of them could actually find their partners also from here. And when they turned puberty, they were also taught to mingle with each other. And it's not like the boys and girls just got together. They were also taught proper art of serenading. So the guy, if he was interested in a girl, he had to serenade and woo her properly, which was done by making wooden combs and wooden boards. And he had to show that he was good. I mean, his romantic side was also quite robust. And he had to gift this to the girl, and if the girl liked the gift and the guy, she would decide to go with him. Now, I found these places which are far removed from the main roads, thanks to a Dokra craftsman called Subdas Nag, who actually studied in one of these places around 20 years ago. Sorry for taking too much time on that. So now, fourth, I will come to Sonawai. I don't know if you've seen when you travel at some of the airports, especially Delhi ones, they have this bas reliefs, very colorful bas reliefs on the wall. So this is a very ethnic Chhattisgarhi art made by this lady called Sonawai. So Sonawai was a very young housewife who was married to a guy much older, and she was a very bold housewife, and she was put inside. She was put inside the house when the guy used to go to the fields to work. And her eldest son, when Daroga Ram was born, uh, she started making toys of mud and clay, and so that he could keep himself engaged. And one day when the boy was sleeping, she saw that the sun was falling directly onto the sleeping child. So she decided to make jalis, those circle ones, and she covered it with mud, and then she painted it with vegetable dyes. So this is the origin of this mural art, which has actually taken uh, the world by storm, I could say that, because it's popular everywhere. An entire book has been written on Sonawai and her art. So when I was there, and Sonawai's house, which is in Puputra, it is in a place called Sirkotka. It's around 18 kilometers from Ambikapur, and it's a little removed from the main village. And this is her house that you can see there. It's a museum now, which is dedicated to her memory. And Daroga Ram is trying his best to convert it into a full-fledged museum, and he's working on it. So now, when I was there, I met this guy called Atmadas Manikpuri, who was also teaching this Sonawai's art form in the local school. And this guy, he was so passionate about his work. He insisted that I take a turn in doing whatever he was doing with the kids. I have a picture of Atmadas for later. So this is an art form which actually we should, when we are in Chattisgarh, you should try and see. You should try and put your, get your hands dirty. And I would say this rural art form is it's pottery with a lot of ornamentation. It's quite colorful, and it's not that difficult. Of course, the jalis you can't make, but the basic structures, the basic shapes like toys and dolls, you try your hand on. And we talk about artists. Chhattisgarh is a place that's really blessed by fantastic master craftsmen. So Atmadas Manipuri was one. And another guy I met in Irakot village, his name is Hari. So Hari is a Dokra artist, and when I was with Hari, it is close to Bastar. So Hari taught me, he took me through the basic moves of how to make Dokra. Okay, it's a very intricate art, but it was wonderful knowing the different types of soil that he used. Which is called, one is manmiti from the village, from the river bed for the basic mold, and then different types of soil are used for every step of the building of the Dokra. Different types of soils are used. So you can actually try and get this master craftsman to explain to you how these different crafts are done, and you will really enjoy it. Now, coming to the cockfight, which are, Chhattisgarh is not really known for any of this, but then this is something that happens there, and it is so far removed from the main points of our civilization. And I found this, when I was wandering around Hearts, and the Hearts is something which Jaspreet and Jeeta spoken about, and these are like open marketplaces where the tribals come together to exchange their agricultural produce and to buy other stuff like clothes and shoes and all that. So these cockfights happen at arenas that are specially earmarked for this, but very removed from these hard areas. And it is frequented by only the men folk, right? So, Chhattisgarhis are primarily hunters and warriors, and the cockfight provides them with a much needed vent in the otherwise non-happening life. So, as a result of which, I know stuff like domestic violence is quite unheard of because this is where the guys come out and vent their frustrations. So this is so when I was visiting the huts around really off-piste places like Lohandigura, Pamela, Tokepal, and Chingitrai. So I don't remember exactly where this is from, but this was to reach there I had to enlist the services of a local lad I found who was traveling on his bicycle with his cock, with his prize cock. So here, big money changes hands, and attendance is huge. Many people come to this sport, and there is so much of bonhomie that is around this place. And you may not be welcomed there initially because it's a very private thing. I mean, everybody knows everybody, but the moment that somebody will come and talk to you, and once they're sure that you are actually there for the love of the sport or just curious you are about the sport, then you're fine and you can hang around, not much problem. So now before I move on to the next one, I must admit that this is not a very touristy thing to do because this is something which I could do share by dint of my friendship with some of the locals. And we rode into Dantewada. We motorcycled to Dantewada, and it's a very foresty area. And you are surrounded by many of these, you see many of these little makeshift temples, you could say. And these are the tribal gods that you see there. And which was pointed out earlier, I could say that, so here, which was pointed out that this was also shown by, this was shown by Jeet earlier, and this is the memorial that is raised to the people, who were living there. So as you can see, those pictures, these are pictorial depictions of the life of the person in gist. He loved to hunt, he loved to dance, and he wooed his wife, and he had a good life. So, and these are people who are still missed. So I was there during one of those winter months, and on my way back through the forest, I found that many of these memorials were actually covered with blankets. So the locals believe that these people are still alive and they have to be kept warm from the cold. So this is one of those very interesting sites which you may not have seen anywhere else. And this is actually, it's there right by the roadside. Now, summing up, okay, now just a little bit about the ride into Dantewada. It's not just about this sites that I was telling about. You can also see these places like on Fantastic. This is the Tamragumar waterfalls. So again, the Chitrakud Barsu Road, and there are so many of these interesting sites that you can see along the way. Now, it's not just about the fabulous traditions. It's not just about the exotic landscape, or it's not the finest tribal art that you can see anywhere in India that awaits in Chattisgarh. But my favorite bit is that it's about the people. You meet here some of the finest people that you've ever met. On the left is Hari, I was talking about, whom I met in Arakot, near Bastar, who taught me the basics of Dokra Dokri art. He explained it so painstakingly to me, and the passion was really out there. And it is amazing the kind of talent the state is blessed with. I really hope for more people like him. Now, this is the biggest treasure in plain sight, the people. Now about slow travel. Now, Chhattisgarh is not like a tick-off place. You can just, okay, this is what you did and you tick it off. No, it's a slow travel destination. And as you know, slow travel is a movement that started in the 80s when people wanted more importance given to the regional cuisine, to the local farming and family traditions. So Chhattisgarh is a slow travel destination. Don't go there if you don't have ample time, like a few days, up to a week, 2 weeks. So you have to be there, and only if you do slow travel, you can get to know the people well, right? Which is actually the biggest treasure of the state. Now, this is the guy who took me to the arena. So this is his name is Sukram, and I've just included a quote from what he's told me. He says, "Not for 10,000, not for 20, not even for 50, I'll sell my game cock." So they're very passionate about the sport, and they bring it up with all the care and attention and love even. This is Atmadas Manipuri who taught me the mural art. So he's saying, talking about what we all know, the deposits, mineral deposits will be over someday, but what remains are these gifts which have to be handed over to the generation. And this is Dinesh Kumar Jangde, the folk dancer, and he's a Panti dancer. And Panti dance is a heritage-rich dance. And the only thing is that why they can't find sponsors is that he says it's a very short art form. But then he says if anybody knew about the heritage and the history that is behind this art form, people would be flocking to watch it. And that's just Panti. And there are like so many of these different art forms that obviously we have no idea, and we should really look into the art forms too. And finally, this guy is a local I met on my way to the Kailash Gufa when I was heading further north from Jashpur. So it's a long story. I mean, finally, when he realized that, I had to take a SUV because my sedan wouldn't go to this Kailash Gufa side. So I told the driver to sit on the side, and I would do the driving, and we had to stop to ask this guy for directions, and he kept ignoring me by talking to the guy on the side. And finally, when he moved on and he realized that, the driver was the one on the side, he actually ran after us. And then he told the driver that, okay, I just realized that you are the tourist and you are the local. And he apologized and we had a good laugh. So this guy actually ran after our car so that he could share a good laugh. So that's it. And this is me in Mindput, which is a Tibetan settlement. And at the Hard Rock Cafe, I waited the entire day to open, but which never did. And thanks a lot to everybody for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Thoman. And indeed, the treasure of every place is, of course, its landscape and nature and the history that we build there, but it's the people who make a place. And Thoman rightly pointed out that in this beautiful, incredible state that we've seen today, Chhattisgarh, it is the people who are adding so much color and culture to the place. We had mentioned about the Pandavani, but he's also told us about a dance form. So there's just so much to do, viewers. And let's not forget that when you get there, do remember to buy Kosa silk, a variety of tussar silk that is famous for its texture and hues, and is produced in Korba and the Champa districts of Chhattisgarh. But there is also a very interesting place called Jaljali in Manpat, where I believe it's a unique place where you can jump and you can create an earthquake. I don't think it's a good idea to do too many people doing it at the same time, but yes, it's interesting to do that. So there's been so much of journey through Chhattisgarh, and viewers, isn't it just a splendid state waiting for us to travel? And as rightly pointed out by Jeet, in post-COVID times, the wisdom of the tribal people who constitute about almost 50% of the people there, the wisdom in medicinal herbs, the wisdom in lifestyle, the wisdom in balancing on how to learn to live with nature and not really being an adversary is something that we all need to learn from the people of this beautiful, splendid state that we have visited today. Well, it's going to be tough to take questions because we've already overstepped the time. But yes, do go to the Sirpur group of monuments, which is about 78 kilometers from Raipur. There are 22 Shiva temples there, 5 Vishnu temples, 10 Buddha viharas, 3 Jain viharas, and also a Snan Kund, a bathhouse there. Just so much to do. Well, I need to thank the state government of Chhattisgarh. And Balagan, thank you so much. You and your team have put together a beautiful webinar for us today. Tomen, Jeet, Jaspreet, you've done an incredible job of bringing the incredible state of Chhattisgarh, which is a part of the incredible India, to viewers from all over the world. Day after tomorrow, because on 11th June, we are going to be taking you again to a very green and state, which is the place to go to in the heat of the plains, is the Himachal Pradesh. So we'll be traveling there. But for today, we want to thank all the viewers for supporting us, for encouraging us. Viewers, the lockdowns are easing and we are all getting back to work. The protocols and guidelines for all of you to follow as you travel back as tourists or otherwise have been put in place by the Ministry of Tourism. Of course, the Ministry of Health has also been giving out guidelines to be followed. So remain safe, remain healthy as we as a country beat COVID and come out healthy and start traveling very, very soon to these beautiful places which we are showcasing to you. In the meantime, सतर्क रहिए, स्वस्थ रहिए, अपना ध्यान रखिए और हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए इस अभियान में, देखते रहिए और दिखाते रहिए अपना सुंदर अतुल्य भारत. Namaskar. See you day after 11 a.m. in the verdant valleys of Himachal Pradesh. Thank you.